What's up, YouTube? This is Gabe Develasco back at it again with another episode of my radio talk show, and today I have a special guest here. His name is Courtney Gist, one of my good friends here at DMAC that I made. I've been at DMAC for 3 years, Digital Media Arts College, and he has been helping me out all the way through. And I would just like to introduce him. What's up, Courtney?
What's going on, Gabe? Great to be here, man. I'm really thankful to even be on the show, man.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And why is that?
Well, it's just because, I've been listening to the last couple episodes. I like how you actually take the spin and you actually, you take the time out of your day, to at least, get to those people who can't really, speak for themselves and stuff like that. Somebody who may be feeling down or something like that, and they don't really want to talk about it. You actually give that good sense of, you're basically just there for those people.
Right.
Those people who aren't, brave enough, and don't want to say anything because they may feel embarrassed or anything like that. That's really, really good. Especially when you also give, helpful information, definitely great advice, and how to deal with stress and everything like that. I just think it was great, and I definitely wanted to, come on here and see if I can try to help out any way I could. So
right. And I honestly try my best to do that because it's not easy, talking to people. Sometimes it's not easy, like telling people like, well, how you feel. It's not really easy. Life is not easy at all, but the people around you that you surround yourself that make you feel really good will help you, in the end. And that's what I ultimately feel. And that's why I do these type of shows, to let people know that. And also to get opinions from other people. So not only I can better myself, in a sense, they could also see like different perspectives on things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
And today there's going to be a lot of perspectives on things.
Well, you know me, I like to talk, so that's the important thing. You got to talk right here.
Yeah. So first and foremost, tell everybody who you are, what you're about, where you're from, and whatnot.
Well, yeah. Pretty much, I'll keep it simple because my life story is long. My name is Courtney, aka Red Spectre, for everyone that that knows me and stuff like that. I'm originally from New York City. I moved to Florida when I was about 7.
Okay.
Pretty much main reasons because the price of living up there in New York is very expensive. So
yeah, hell expensive.
My mom wanted to be a little bit closer to my grandmother, which she came down here and retired. At the time, my grandfather, when he was alive, they came down. So pretty much I kind of had no say so in it. Don't get me wrong, if it was me, I'd rather be in New York, but, I had no say so. I was only 6, so whatever. So, we came down here and stuff like that, and it's been history ever since. But a little bit about me, of course, I go to Digital Media Arts College, computer animation, everything like that. I've been working hard the last 3.5 years. I'm coming up on my 4th year. I should be getting ready to finish, actually, in the next couple months. I just got to keep working at it and stuff like that.
You gotta hustle.
Yeah, I gotta hustle.
You gotta hustle.
When you get to the end of this, when you get to the end, that's really when the big difficulty pops into it, because you have so many different variables that pop in. It's just like distractions. And
yeah, man.
Professors are just beating down your door. But
you guys got storyboard, animation.
Yeah, man, storyboarding, and no knock to the graphic designers, but I think us animators, kind of have a little bit tougher. But we're not going to go there. That's a different episode. But that's a different episode.
Okay.
But pretty much what I do, I write on the side. I'm a big fiction writer, so I love to write stories and everything like that. I'm actually in the midst of trying to get my work out there.
The Kindred, right?
Yeah, the Kindred. I'm working on that with my friend Bruce. We've been working on that project for quite some time. We're almost there, you know what I mean? And
right.
It's getting there. We're proud of that. Of course, I have a couple other side projects out there. One in particular, I'm working on this project called Tattoos right now. I'll talk about that later. Wow. Tattoos, and then Centurion Valley I'm working on, and stuff like that. But like I said, I do that to pretty much just pass my time by, because I've always been that type of person where I like to create something from nothing. like, I look at a blank canvas and I want to create something. I want to make a world that people would be interested in. I don't want to just copy off something. I want to just make something where someone can actually look at this and say, hey, it's cool.
Yeah, that, you know what I mean? That's usually how a lot of artists, come to be and whatnot.
Yeah.
For me, how I came to this school, I mean, when I was a little kid, like, I always wanted to be like a game designer, a game developer, whatever, or I wanted to do something with video games. That's why when people ask, like, oh, are you a computer animator? I mean, yes, my degree says computer animation, but I'm game art. That's like my title. But my main title that I want to get up to is game developer.
Yeah.
Someone to make a game, have an idea, and like produce it.
Yeah.
But what really made me decide on this path was, for when I was a little kid, I always wanted to do something like with Grand Theft Auto, and like, when I was like 7 years old, I was playing Vice City. So that's like,
that's right. We had bad parents, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
let us play Grand Theft Auto at 7 years old.
7 years old. Yeah, 7 or 8 years old. Dude, my brother was pissed. Yeah. But that's besides that. I was in fifth grade at the time. Yeah, I was in fifth grade, and I was writing cheat codes on piece of paper, acting like a game. Real talk. I
used to print my cheat codes out, dude. I used to, like, for Grand Theft Auto, I remember there were so many cheat codes.
No, I mean, like, I used to make cheat codes.
Like you used to just create your own.
Create my own, like pretend that I was in, like, the company itself and, like, making the game.
Hey, man.
And just recently, I actually met someone who worked on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here at the school.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, for the game jam. And apparently I've known him for a year already. And, like, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I was weak at the knees.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5, it was one of the best games I've ever played.
I haven't even played it. I haven't even played 4. I mean, I played a little bit of 4.
You need to.
I only played a little bit of 4,
5 is really good. Like, well, of course, I still say
San Andreas is the best one.
San Andreas is the best one. Just mainly because there was way more stuff to do in it. And just, like, a lot of people actually complain about it. They were talking about there's too much in it. But, dude, like, how many games can you sit there, you go get a burger, get fat, then work out?
And then get swole.
Get swole. And then, it was cool. That was a really cool game. And, Grand Theft Auto 5, I think, really came the closest. It's the online is really where it's at. That's just, if you get on GTA, you got to get on GTA Online. It's the bomb.
I honestly have to, get on my, video game grind and whatnot. But see, the thing is, it's just like, I have this thought that I don't know where it came from, but I always say this, like, I always say, if I can play the game, I can make it. Or why play it when you can create the game or whatnot? Yeah. So it's just that right there keeps me from, I guess, like, playing my games. Like, let me tell you, for like Christmas break and New Year's, man, or Black Friday or whatever, bruh, I bought 6 games. I only touched 1, and that was Assassin's Creed Black Flag for PS3. I only touched 1 of the 6 games that I got.
So good.
Right.
I think out of all the Assassin's Creeds, I think that's the best one. Is number 4, Black Flag. Like, that was just good.
I remember for a time that, like, we used to be like, well, I think we still are, like, really big fans of Assassin's Creed.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, what really got me into it, to tell you the truth, because I didn't play the first one, actually. I didn't. It just didn't appeal to me. And then the second one came out, which it was Italy. So I'm like, okay, I played this one. It was pretty good.
I fucks with it, yeah.
But that was actually my next question. Could we curse? Because you know me, I
don't care.
I have a potty mouth. So
yeah, go ahead.
That's a New York thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's like when you're from New York, you naturally have a potty mouth. But I'm gonna tell you what I really got into it when I played 3. 3 was, and a lot of people hate on 3. Because they said it was boring, they didn't like the character, they didn't really like too much about it. But I sit there and I think that Connor is the best assassin out of everyone. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack on that, but I don't care. But the reason why I say that is because if you go through the story mode, Connor was a Native American. His mother was Native American. He was brought up with his tribe and stuff like that. Of course, his father, who was, a British, you know what I'm saying? He was a Brit.
Templar.
He was ended up eventually being a Templar and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. No, spoiler alert. Crap, I think it's too late for that, but whatever.
People who haven't played it, come on, the game's like, 4 years old.
You should probably know. But, so it's like, you got the Templars and stuff like that, his dad or whatever left and stuff like that. And, after suffering the tragedy of his whole village, his whole people being killed and stuff like that, he kind of accidentally became an assassin. You know what I mean? And then when he became an assassin, he wasn't like that normal thing, like type of assassin like Ezio was in the second one. It was just more like you felt where he was coming from. It's just like he wanted more vengeance than anything.
A lot of vengeance. And because like when I got the game. And I was like, yo, Courtney, I finally got Assassin's Creed. I know you like, Connor and shit. I'm gonna play it,
Yeah.
Now I see why.
Yeah.
Like, I delve deep and I'm just like, bruh.
Dude, the
this
American
guy.
The American Revolution was fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, like,
it was fucked up. It really was.
But, yo, that shit right there. Yeah. See, and all this storyline, that's...
People at Ubisoft, they're just, I don't know what the hell they smoke when they make these storylines. Like, they're just so in depth and just like amazing, and it's just like that's just with all their games too.
That's where I want to work, actually.
Ubisoft,
yeah. I really want to like work there and like put my portfolio out there.
Try to go to Montreal, man. Ubisoft Montreal is like the best, like because everything Ubisoft
takes up a whole block. So that's like 10 streets.
Yeah,
like so.
Montreal, Ubisoft Montreal is. I've been a fan of Ubisoft Montreal because I don't know if this is an old game, but Splinter Cell Chaos Theory back in the day,
dude.
When that came out, that was made by Ubisoft Montreal. That was hands down the best Splinter Cell game ever made, and I've been a fan of theirs ever since that game.
Prince of Persia: Warrior Within was my favorite.
That was a good one. I won't lie, that was a good one.
To be like hooked on it, like Ubisoft, and I was just like, I want more, and then I got more with Prince of Persia, and then after that Assassin's Creed. So that was my gateway into that. So I really, really, truly enjoyed that. That was really good, and I'm really happy.
It's funny too. It's real funny because I actually heard a joke. Some people were saying if Donald Trump gets elected as president, a lot of people are going to be moving to Montreal. So many people don't want him to be in office. It's ridiculous right now, man, with the whole election and all that stuff right now.
See, and the thing is, like, moving on to, like, this is, like, a good way to go on go into, like, politics and whatnot. But, like, for me, I don't really keep up with, like, the whole, like, politic, situation or what's going on. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack, on my part, for that. And it's just... I apologize for people who are in politics a lot, but I really don't pay attention to that. Like, I know that Donald Trump, is a businessman. He has more business sense than an actual president.
Yeah.
Or an actual candidate. But I don't know. Like, what do you feel about politics? First of all, what do you feel about like what's going on now?
Well, pretty much just going into it. I've always been a history nerd. I was always that one weird kid in the class that actually liked history.
Bro, I have a big ass book. It's like the last 1,000 years, bro. That thing's 10 years old.
Yeah, man.
So
it's like history is always like intrigued me, and then I was always a fan of like watching our country grow. So
Right.
I've looked at numerous presidents over the course of history. George Washington, John Adams, Abraham Lincoln. FDR, all those presidents and everything like that. So like, that made me, and then also me being, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but like I said,
go deep. This is, I want people to realize that this show is like where you go to, where you want deep talks, man.
Okay.
I want people to realize that we're changing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Having like a lighter tone with it, but I just want you guys to know that this is deep, the deep of the deep. Hopefully, if
that's what she said.
Yeah. Good one.
But pretty much, like I said, me as a black man, I'm just gonna put it as that.
That's getting really deep.
Yeah, this is it. Me and as a black man, knowing my history and everything like that, Black history, studying it, and happy Black History Month, everybody. That's also a big thing. One thing I've noticed is just that, everyone. I'm actually lucky, you know what I mean? Me as a black person in the society nowadays that I actually have the right to vote. So that's another reason I was always big on the politics, because I know there's a lot of people who died for me literally to have this right. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I feel like that's kind of a spit in their face if I don't even pay attention to it.
Right.
Not to mention, even there are just people who just go there and vote just judging on like a name. I don't do that. I vote on people who I know. That's why politics is very important to me. When I was growing up, I grew up in a primarily Democratic home. So, I was always brought up to, say, hey, the Democrats are always the right one, and the Democrats are always going to be the...
Same here, because I'm mostly, liberal, and, Democrats are,
Yeah, and then, it's like, but the thing is, you learn when you get older, and when I got older, I started learning that everyone, you can't just go with somebody just because they're affiliated with a party, especially with the Democrats as well. There have been Democratic candidates that I have not really agreed with. So, I've kind of found myself pretty much I would consider myself an independent really, just because I go both sides. So,
yeah, same here.
But politics is very, very important. I feel just because, like I said, it's with there being so much corruption and just so much scandal in politics and then with the government and everything like that, I feel like it is important for you to know who you're voting for. You don't want to just vote for somebody who says these great things and then they
don't do it.
Then they don't do it. You know what I mean? And then, then another thing that bothers me is how people complain about who's in office and everything like that, and they're the ones that don't vote. That bothers me, because it's just I feel like you don't really have a right to say anything if you didn't even vote. You know what I mean?
Right.
But pretty much going back into it and stuff like that, it's just every single election I've been going into it and stuff like that, and I've been able to vote in 2 elections so far. Yeah, because of course you gotta wait till you're 18 and stuff like that. And Obama's been in for 8 years now, 2 terms and stuff like that.
2 terms.
Yeah, 2 terms. But yeah, man, politics is very, very important. Now, the one thing that I'm definitely gonna bring up is this. There's a problem. And I feel like with media, that's what screws politics up.
Oh man, Facebook, how it's projected
Facebook,
on Facebook, Tumblr.
You have Fox News, you have MSNBC. So let's take those 2 for example right now. I'm going to take Fox News, take MSNBC. MSNBC is really if you're a diehard Democrat. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
Fox News, as everyone knows, is if you're a diehard Republican. Now, when you watch these 2 networks, they pretty much they intentionally make it where they feed you everything that they feel. So they want you to cater to that candidate right there by saying something bad about the other candidate. They never really talk about the important issues.
Like a facade, kind of.
Exactly. They make you just want to hate the other side. That's pretty much it. Fox News does it way worse than MSNBC. Fox News, they will sit there for days and talk about how bad Obama is, what he hasn't done. They call him, I think they called him the Antichrist at one time and stuff like that.
The Antichrist.
The Antichrist. That's all I mean. But the thing is, here's the thing. Okay, Obama is not the perfect president.
Nobody.
No one is. You know what I mean? No one is.
Look, they're all human, just like us. Mm-hmm. And that's all there is to it.
And all I'm saying is this: I've lived under the Obama administration for the last 8 years. I've seen unemployment go down a bunch. I've been able to keep a job under his administration.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? The thing that he did with healthcare, a lot of people hate Obamacare. And I'm not gonna lie, that thing does really need some tweaking, very, very badly. It's not perfect. But the thing is, I understand why he did it. And this is one reason that a lot of people don't realize. And this actually hit me kind of close.
Right.
Before Obamacare came in, insurance companies could actually deny clients that were applying for insurance if they had what they called a pre-existing condition, which actually fell into the category of cancer. So if you actually contracted cancer, insurance companies would not pay for you because they considered that a pre-existing condition, which that's crazy because you develop cancer. You're not born with cancer, you develop it. So how is that a pre-existing? So my cousin Laverne, a couple years ago, I would say about like 5 years ago, she got diagnosed with breast cancer, very, very bad.
Right.
She was hoping that, Obamacare would get passed. So then, because she had tried to apply for, insurance, but they turned her down.
They denied her
the pre-existing thing and stuff like that. And she was hoping that it would get passed. And unfortunately, her not having the insurance, she couldn't get the care. And sadly, she died. She passed away. And what was really sad about it was like a couple months after she passed away, Obamacare got passed.
Really?
So it was just like, I think of it from that standpoint. It's just Obamacare really helps the people that can't get that help in terms of with their cancer treatment and everything like that. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like it's perfect, but
there's a bad side and a good side,
Yeah. And it's just like, Fox News, they'll be the first ones to just kill Obama. They don't like him at all. And I understand that, you're not going to like every candidate. But, I think that it sends a hateful message. And that's the problem with media today anyway. It's like they just send a hateful message. Like you have so many people who sit there and say, I hate Obama, but they've never met this man
in
ever
person.
In their life.
Yeah,
So how can you sit there and say you hate somebody, but you've never met them? You know what I mean? And, I wasn't the biggest fan of Bush when he was in office. But the thing is, I can't sit here and say I hate this man. And I never met him. So it's just like, and going forward to now the recent election, with, of course, Donald Trump is killing the Republican primary right now, which more than likely he's going to go on and win it, and he's going to get the nominee for the Republicans. So, but then of course on the Democratic side, it's pretty interesting because you got Hillary Clinton, you got Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders, I like a lot.
So tell me a little bit about like the things that Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton like have, and
it's weird because those two are like night and day. It's like Hillary Clinton, she's really basing her campaign off I'm a Clinton. All the 90s babies, we know about Clinton. We know about Bill Clinton. You know about all the great things that he did for the country. All the 90s kids. We all know about that. Bill Clinton was one of the best presidents ever.
Right.
So pretty much Hillary's kind of running her campaign off her name alone because they're thinking like, okay, we have a Clinton in office and everything's going to go back to how it was in the 90s.
Right.
That's really what she's going off of. Bernie Sanders, on the other hand, he's more of like the direct radical approach with it. Like, he wants to go against big government. He wants to get rid of Wall Street.
He's like a rebel.
He wants to kill Wall Street and everything like that. And of course, the conservatives, who are of course of the 1%, the wealthier, classes and stuff like that, they don't like that because, Wall Street gets, pretty much helps them. That's the main source of their income a lot of the time. So Bernie Sanders wants free education. He wants, he's sick of seeing basically
like smart minds, right? And I see this all the time, and I could feel for him. He's sick of seeing smart minds go down because they live in a poor environment.
Exactly, and that's what Bernie's big on that. Like he's said hundreds of times, like, he goes into a black neighborhood, and he compares it to his own neighborhood. His own neighborhood, he can walk down to a fresh market, get his groceries and no problem and stuff like that. Right. You go into a black community, there's no fresh markets there. There's, you see broken down streets, you see broken down stores, dollar stores all over the place and stuff like that. You don't see that there. Black people, like, he has a mortgage on his home. You know what I mean? He actually owns his home. He goes into the black community, and this is true. You go into the black community, you don't see anyone with their own homes. You don't see them running their own businesses. You see them renting, making someone else rich, instead of actually trying to live the American dream and have their own home. Right. That's a big problem, and Bernie Sanders is, he's making that known that, we need to stop this whole race division, and we need to just make it where this country, everyone can share in the American dream. And that's the one thing that is helping him really right now, big with the election, because I think he's actually going to win the Democratic primary. I didn't think he was going to be able to beat Hillary at first, but it's looking like he will.
Right.
I'm just hoping.
You saw the debate and whatnot?
Yeah. Like, my only biggest thing is I hope that Bernie Sanders can get what he wants proved through this Congress, because that's the biggest thing. Like, you win the election, you're in there,
but it's Congress.
Like it's really Congress.
It's Congress,
because you're the president of the United States, but you don't make laws.
Right.
Congress does. Yeah. And if you have a hostile, Congress like Obama did for 8 years, then nothing's going to get solved and nothing's going to get passed. That's what I'm just hoping. But a lot of people hate on Donald Trump. Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump is a speaker. Let's just say that. He's a speaker and he voices his opinion. But, I mean, I won't sit there and say that he's a bad man, because I don't know him to say that.
Right.
I mean, he has these views, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes on.
I feel like that, and this like goes for like anybody.
Yeah.
You know, when a person sees another person from first impression, they are like, okay, here's my first impression, go for it. And like, if that person that they're looking at like does something bad or something that they don't like, automatically they think like, oh, you know, they're a bad person, they're this, they're that, anything and everything negative.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that is what Donald Trump sent out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who don't know who Donald Trump is as a person got that message. And now I know everybody's going to be like, oh, but he's a racist.
Yeah, that's
he's this. He's Hitler. You know, he's a new age Hitler and whatnot.
New age Hitler and everything like that. But I mean, here's the thing. This is why research is important.
Right.
And I'm going to say this now. Like, research is very important because, again, you can't listen to media. Media is going to spin anything they want in order to make you hate this person or spin something the other way.
Yeah,
because we look on TV and we see Donald Trump. We see the things that he says that are racist and everything like that.
Exactly.
Ban Muslims, everything like that. That's all we see. But if you really research what he really wants to do, and I'm not going to lie, you know, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this one, but when I first heard Donald Trump's campaign, when he first started, I was leaning toward him because Donald Trump wants this. And, you know, and unfortunately, this is the one thing that doesn't get enough exposure. It's always just what he says about, you know, Muslims and immigrants.
Right.
This is what he really wants for America.
To be great again.
No, it's not that. It's just he's sick of, you know, there being a system. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? People just, you know, saying that he's sick of hearing about, you know, people not getting a fair advantage to get into the American dream. So what he wants to do is he wants to come in and he wants to change that where literally everyone has the chance to have the American dream. He wants to make it where there's more grants, there's more, pretty much the government helps out a lot more people start up their own businesses so they can live that themselves. Pretty much saying we're going to help you start up your own business and make your own wealth instead of just, you know, because there's a lot of people that expect people to give them everything.
Right.
But he wants it where people should be able to start up their own businesses and make their own wealth. And I think that was a great thing to do because that's never been tried before. We live in a capitalistic, you know, it's capitalism, you know what I mean? It's business. That's why, like, usually the presidents that usually are coming in are businessmen,
right,
and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, in order to keep our economy going, we need to create goods and services. That's just that simple. We need to trade, we need to consume, and we need to buy everything like that.
See, I have a friend who was on the show, Paul, who told me one day that the reason why Trump wouldn't be a good president, or the reason why Trump, I guess we could say that wouldn't be a good president or whatnot, or is making a mistake in this election, is because he only knows the business system and not so much of the political system.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that in a way. Well, of course, like, you know, he doesn't have the experiences like Jeb Bush would have, and, you know, Chris Christie would have, Ted Cruz would have. These guys ran for office before. But the political side is really what we can't really sit there and say like we know the political side, because we don't. We're not politicians.
No, we're computer animators. We are people who make the entertainment.
We make shit. That's what we do.
Make shit.
That's what we do. But the thing is, we're not politicians, so we don't really have we can't really sit there and say he doesn't have the political experience, because we don't know what political experience is. So it's just like, look, I don't agree with everything Donald Trump says. I think, a lot of his stuff is harsh and everything like that. Like, of course, banning Muslims, that's stupid. But
that is stupid. Like,
it's stupid. But the thing is, like, again, it's just, you can't hate somebody if you don't really know them, and you really got to just do your research, because don't listen to the media. The media is just going to spin something and just get into it. Facebook is another thing. That is like poison right now. Facebook is the worst.
That is poison right now.
I can't tell you how many like articles I read on Facebook, and it's just like, it really shows how racist our country is. Like, a lot of those people, like, you know, a lot of people will sit there and watch one video and find one racial thing to say, and then, especially with politics, they showed like one thing that really bothered me is Obama did a video. He did an address to the nation a few months back. Okay. Because another shooting happened. I think it was it was another school shooting, if I'm not mistaken. No, it wasn't a school shooting. It was the pro
gun thing.
No, the pro birth thing. The guy walked into the abortion center and killed everybody, saying, "Yeah." So, Obama came out and said that it's like he's been big on gun control. He wants that on gun control, and he literally came out there and cried because he's sick of seeing it and stuff like that. Because he started thinking of the kids that got killed in Sandy Hook a few years back and stuff like that, and that brought him to tears.
Yeah, that honestly puts a damper on a president's think about stress.
Yeah, that is the most stressful job you can ever have because literally it's like everything that happens in this country you're gonna get blamed for. It sucks because it's not your fault. Everything that happens in the country is not your fault, but you're still getting blamed for it.
Because it's
you're the face of the country.
Yeah, you're the leader. I mean? You are the leader and whatnot.
Then I was reading comments on that video and then people were just saying, "Oh, he's faking it. He's just evil and everything like that." And it's just like, come on, man. Really? It's just and then I hate when people sit there and say he's trying to take guns away because again, that's how the media is shaping it up to look like. If you watch Fox News, it's gonna make you. There's always be he's trying to take our guns away.
So, in your opinion, what should we do? What should we believe? Should we? I know there's always three sides to the story.
There always is. Yeah, there's always
your side, the other side, and the truth.
And the truth, yeah.
So, would we just do that and then come up with our own truth, our own vision of what really should be?
Well, we can't change, unfortunately, because everyone's different.
Right.
So it's I can't really sit there and say this is what we should do and this will fix it. But I just recommend to everyone listening out there, it's just, don't listen to what everyone says. Don't listen to that. Do your own research.
Right.
You have a question about this, who's running and everything like that. You'd be surprised all the information out there. We have the internet. We have the best tool that's ever been invented out there. We have Google. You know what I mean? You can find anything you want out there.
Sometimes Google fucks up.
It does.
Sometimes Google fucks up, man.
Don't use Wikipedia, people, because that's all opinionated.
Yeah,
just putting that out there.
Exactly. I mean, most of it,
it's all opinionated because it's people go in there and post stuff on it.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just I'm not gonna lie. When Wikipedia first came out, we were I was one of those kids that stayed on Wikipedia using it for research papers.
Man, we used that shit like it was no tomorrow, man.
But like I said, just ending off on the whole politics thing, man. Go out there, go vote. You know what I'm saying? Go make your opinion counted. Because I think the Florida primaries or whatever are coming up very, very soon. Mm-hmm. So go out there and vote, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're not sure, you don't know anything about these candidates, just look it up.
Shit, after hearing that, then I need to go ahead.
That's what I'm saying, man. Vote. It's important, dude, because just remember it this way. You want to know, people who want to know why should I vote? Do you really want to be stuck with the wrong person in office for the next 4 years? Just think about that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to do that. So
exactly, and and I thank you for giving your insight on this because ever since that I've met you and became friends with you, I've always looked up to you because not only that you're such a cool person, it's just the fact that you're very wise. How I look up to my eldest brother, Mike, is how I look up to you because of how wise you are and how you make sense when you speak.
And that's really just from experience, man.
Exactly.
I've had a long life, man. I've had a very hard life,
right. And that will build you to what you are today. Yeah. And honestly, guys, you can get a thing or two from my friend Courtney because there have been some things that he has said that has changed me to make me be better. Can't name those off the top of my head, but shit. Well, I guess right now, going to go ahead and vote, and researching about things that you don't know, like politics, obviously, stuff like that. And I know that you've had, like you said, you had trying times in your life,
all through my life, man. hardest thing is, one thing is I'm humble, and I had to learn how to be humble a long time ago. My mom being a single mother of us three, my little brother's autistic, so it's never been easy.
Bro, same here, except my older brother's autistic. And like mother of three, yeah, man. Same
it's
here.
Just like, dude, it's like, okay, it's just like, because here's how I was raised, where pretty much my mom had to work literally all the time. So I never saw my mom really growing up. Mm-hmm. And we had to basically be, my older brother was basically my father.
Right.
And I had to be a father to my little brother. So pretty much we had to look out for each other. We had to protect each other and stuff like that. So that was what was able for me to learn the world at a very young age. I was very mature in middle school. You know what I mean? I had to learn all that stuff like that, man, And it's not your fault because your mom had to, Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my mom was able to do everything she could. You know what I mean? And,
right.
Unfortunately, we didn't really have that big support from our family. So It's like my mom really had to do a lot of things on her own. So it's just, I thank her. She's literally one of the most important people in my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I wouldn't be the man I am today if it wasn't for her. And, even eventually I ended up meeting my father eventually. But, now he's out of my life again. So it's just like, I really didn't need him. You know what I mean? I had my brother to really show me what a man can really be. And I had my mother to show me what a man should be.
And see, that's why I kind of look up to you, kind of like my brother. Because my brother was kind of like, my brothers were kind of like my dads, Not saying that you're kind of like my dad.
No. Hey, man, I'm not paying child support. No, not doing that.
But when I was younger, I'm the youngest of three. And my brothers used to take care of me a lot when my mom would go to work.
Yeah.
Same situation as you. My dad left me when I was practically born.
Yeah,
I don't even think he was there for my first birthday party. But you know when the last time I talked to my dad was? When I was 7 years old. I'm 22 now, man.
Yeah, man.
That is a very long time.
It's bad, man. It's just it's bad.
But you know what? I don't need him to show me what a man is.
No, you don't.
You don't. It's from examples and experiences that, people bring to the table for you. And the best thing one of the best things that I've ever heard from my friends was to look at somebody who is being negative to you or pessimistic to you and ask yourself, do you want to be like that? Do you want to be like that example in life? Yeah. And the answer is no, you don't. And my father, if he's hearing this today, I highly doubt that because I don't think he gives a fuck about me. Yeah. I honestly, I don't need him,
You don't.
Like I haven't needed him for 22 years of my life.
You don't.
You don't. And I've gone a pretty good, far road without him.
Yeah, man. I mean, like a little bit more about myself. Not having that father figure there, it does suck. It really does in a lot of times.
Tremendously.
Because especially, I'm going to be real, and I'm sure all my guys out there who are listening and stuff like that will do this. When you first start liking girls and everything like that, or, vice versa, if you're not straight, if you're gay and stuff like that, or you like other boys and stuff like that, I don't knock that, nothing against that. So, but yeah, I'm just saying, it's like when you basically start getting into that road of liking someone else,
right?
You know what I mean? Having emotional feelings for someone else,
whether it be boy or girl,
you know what I mean? It's just, you need that figure there a lot of the time because you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know how to go about this. So sometimes you find yourself wanting that. And, it's other things too. It's just in terms of life, when you don't have that father figure, you don't know the real definition. You really don't know the real definition of a man unless you live your life through experience because you don't have that father figure there. You don't have that person there to show you what a man is supposed to be. You know what I mean? So it's that caused me to get into a little bit of trouble in my life. Fun fact, and I'm going to say this, but in high school, when I first got into high school, I was actually in a gang.
Really?
I was a Crip.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was a Crip.
Damn.
A lot of people didn't know that because I kind of kept that a secret as well. But,
well, I mean, you're supposed to. I mean, like, I've researched about, like, you know, the whole gang.
It wasn't a big Crip gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, you know, this was like OG, everything like that. Yeah. It was really just something that was in my neighborhood at the time. You know, it was really, really small. It was like 5 of us or whatever that we did it for a while and stuff like that. You know, it's not like we were killing or whatever, you know, gang banging going into other. But it's just like, the reason why is because I made that bad decision mainly because I was just so insecure about myself at the time. And I didn't have that real guidance because my mom really wasn't there a lot, you know, and it wasn't her fault, you know, and it wasn't her fault.
She had to put food on the table.
She had to put food on the table. So the thing is, like, I kind of wanted to be socially recognized. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to be popular and stuff like that. And I feel like every man and every person goes through that eventually. Right. Where you feel like you want to be popular, you will do anything to do it. And I felt like if I was in this gang, I would have respect. And I
honestly, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
You know, and I honestly feel like, you know, within my research on this, on how gang life is and how gang activity is, the main thing to what I know, what I have found out is that the reason why people go into gangs at such a young age is because they feel alone. They want that family. They want that warmth that says, like, you know, I have my homies have me, and I have my homies, you know, and I have my brothers with me. Yeah. You know, they want that family because they don't have that at home. Yeah. Which, you know, I feel like, you know, very bad for the people who have to go through that. And I'm sorry that you guys have to go through that, because it's like, I know what it's like, and I don't know, like, how gang life is, you know? I'm pretty sure it's crazy. It's
okay. I'll put it this way. Like I said, I hope one of our listeners is a person that's gone through this, right? You know, or, you know, because I really want to talk to them mainly now. Being in that gang life, it is like a family in a way, because it's just like, you know, your brothers and stuff like that, you know, they're there for you and everything like that. But the evil reality of it is you start to not realize things that are going on, you know, that you need to be paying attention to, because you think that, like, for example, I was a Crip, so blue, it was everything blue with me. You know, literally every time I went to school, I had a blue pen. You know what I'm saying? I had to have some type of article of blue on me all the time. Because, like, I felt like that was my symbol to my gang. Right. So it's just like, you know, and a lot of people ask me now, it's like, Courtney, why'd you wear so much blue in high school and all that stuff like that? That's the reason why. But
why are you wearing so much blue now, bro?
Well, blue is my favorite color. I'm not even lying. I think that's another reason I even became one. I was never a big fan of red, so I forget I wasn't no. So but the thing is, like, man, it's like, it was just that. And then here's the thing though, it's just like, but then you start to realize is that you start losing your identity. And it's just because you're fiending to be liked, you're fiending to be accepted. It's kind of like an addiction. Right. So it's just like, when you're in there, you'll do anything because you want to keep that. You want to keep that feeling, that adrenaline rush. Yeah. And the reason why I got out of it, and I was lucky, I was literally lucky, because one night we were doing an initiation. A good friend of mine, I won't say his name, but a good friend of mine, you know, he was a member as well. And he was going to do an initiation for a new guy that they wanted to bring in. They wanted me to go along with this initiation, but I said no. I actually stayed home and played a video game. Because I've always been a nerd, ever since day one. But I stayed home, I played a video game. And they told me, okay, no problem. He went in my place instead. He was like, all right, I'm going to take him on it. Now, my friend, he was a little bit more of the roughneck type. Right. So it's like he really was the more, how do I say, dictionary definition of a gangster, you know what I mean? So he decided as a great initiation to do a robbery. So pretty much they tried to rob this liquor store that was closed, and, you know, they tried to go in there, you know, rob the place at night and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it went bad. Someone saw him go in. The cops came. My friend had a gun on him. Got into a shootout. Ended up getting killed. My friend died that night, and the other kid got arrested. Damn. And when I found that out, that really hurt me, mainly because it's just like,
That could have been you.
It could have been me. You know what I mean? Like, even if that could have, like, if I would have been there, anything could have happened. I could have been dead. You know, I could have went to jail and stuff like that. And then literally when I think about it, I stayed home and played a video game. You know what I mean? And then that's when I really started, that's when it clicked in my head finally, that forget trying to be socially accepted, and you need to be you.
That's how you get your acceptance.
The one day that I started actually being myself is the one day I actually started being comfortable with myself. That's when I started dressing the way I wanted to. That's when I started being in my video games like I wanted to, got into fighting games, my Yu-Gi-Oh, everything like that. I've always been a big time nerd. I loved it, and I started being myself.
Right.
And that's to anybody who's ever gone through that problem or thinking about it. You be yourself. Don't ever do anything. Don't ever go into anything. Just be socially acceptable, because you be surprised what socially acceptable really is. In my opinion, socially acceptable is just a craze that was made up to make you feel popular. You should always love yourself, and you should accept yourself for who you are.
Exactly, you know, and thank you for that, man. Thank you for that, man. Because, like, as much as I say it, you know, with my voice being all monotone and whatnot, I'm trying to put, like, so much, like, live into it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like for a time, once people come on the show and, like, they say that, it's going to click. And I want people to realize what my show is for. I really do. I mean, yes, I'm a computer animator and with the concentration in game art, and yes, I know I have a lot of things that I have to do, but I just want you guys to know where I'm coming from, you know, and where the people that I bring on the show, where they're coming from, their struggles and whatnot, you know. And quite honestly, like, Courtney and I, we're big time nerds. Like, we just talked about Assassin's Creed for the first, like, 10 minutes, like, within the show. But for all the people out there who are listening, don't be afraid, you know. Don't be afraid to get out of that shell. Don't be afraid to be who you really are. You know, if you love comic books, hey, man, preach it. Yeah, you know,
definitely, man. Like, don't let what people tell you to be. Like, I grew up in the ghetto. I did. I grew up in the ghetto.
I grew up in the Miami ghettos as well.
Don't let your environment be who you are. Don't be a product of your environment. Do what you feel, because the best thing you can do is get yourself out of that situation.
Right.
And that's when I finally figured that out. It's just, it goes from there. And it's the same thing with anything, man. It's like, especially like with love too. Like, you know, I gotta go into this for a little bit. Then we'll
man, but, this is like the meat,
the potatoes and the meat and potatoes. That's what they call it.
Yeah. the meat and potatoes. End of the show.
But pretty much, like I was saying, like with love, like for example, like, you know, I've had my heartbreaks. You know, that's why, like, now I'm the person I am when I go into relationships now, because of everything I've gone through. So, you know, recently, you know, I fell in love with somebody. You know, die hard. You know, I was in love with this person, I would say, about 2 years.
Right.
Secretly. You know, I never told them or whatever and stuff like that. And die hard in love with this person. Then you find out that, you know, that they don't feel the same way about you. And then, like, you know, it hurts you. It crushes you and stuff like that. And, you know, now, unfortunately, we don't even talk anymore.
Right.
But it's not because of that. It was other circumstances why we don't talk, you know, but that really hurt me the most, because it's like I said, we were such good friends. You know, we talked all the time and stuff like that, and now it's to the point where we don't talk anymore at all.
Right.
And, you know, so pretty much, if you really, really want to love somebody, I found out you have to love yourself first.
Dude,
you do.
Most definitely.
You do, because, you know, if you don't really love yourself, you can't look for that person to make yourself feel better about yourself, because they don't want to be with that. They don't want you. Even if they think you're unattractive, screw that. You never tell yourself that you're unattractive. It's their loss. That's what you tell them. You know what I mean? So that's just it, man. But, you know, we can talk about love all day, but, you know.
Well, see, my thing is, and this is what my friend George, he told me that one day when we were driving, I was acting really, like, monotone, really depressed, and you know, not like myself, because as people know that, yeah, I could be goofy, yeah, I'm dumb at times, but I'm a fun character to be around.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I wasn't feeling that at the time because of like school and all this stress. Because I feel like I have to prove to people that I can do this, that I could, you know, make them proud, you know. And I have a lot of people who I want to make proud, you know. First and foremost, all my teachers at DMAC who I pissed off like so much. Listen, I want to make you guys like very, very, very proud, because like just as much as I made you guys bad, you know, I want you to see is with all that anger and frustration that I gave you guys, I want you to see how much I've grown, and I want you guys to see how well my work is. Not only that, my mentors, you know, who I've also pissed off, you know. And
everyone does not like Gabe. I swear, I don't know what he does. I think he just took a shit in someone's coffee one day. Yeah. It's just like, no, I just don't get it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's just, I don't know what it is with me, but like, you know, through thick and thin, I do improve, and you know, people see that I work hard. You know, this new art thing is very, very different. I never used to be someone that was very into art. I just want to do something with video games, and if this is one of the things that I have to do
you just change through experience, man. Yeah. Like the more, like I was big on, I wanted to make my video game when I came here, and then I was just like, damn, the more I learn about the industry and everything like that, I like stories more. So it's like, I want to go into the thing of making a storyboard about something.
Right.
That's really what I want to do. Right. I want to be the person in charge of writing the story. The technical aspect, yeah, that's cool, but I found out I really like the story.
Right.
But, you know, like I said, it's just experience. You know, when you go through experience and stuff like that, you live and you learn, you find out what you like and stuff like that.
Also, going back to what George said, be the product that you want to be. Like, or better yet, be the person that you want to hang out with. Be the person that you want to hire. Be the person that you want to be in a relationship with. Don't be narcissistic, but think about it.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear that, like, be the person that you want to hang out with. What comes to mind? When you look at someone who has tons of friends, always hanging out with somebody, and you look at them, what do you see? Well, you know, they take care of themselves. They're usually always optimistic. They're always saying good things. They're always speaking with like a higher cadence, you know, in their voice and whatnot. And it's like, wow, you know, if I model myself like that, it's not exactly, you know, following. Mm-hmm. But you are taking positive things within yourself, and you're just like bringing yourself up. And when you do that, you are making yourself hang out with someone that you want to hang out with, and then you're just going to get friends.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
I do agree with that one. And especially, it's like, me, what I learned is, and a lot of people get this confused, like they think like the more friends you have, the more popular you are.
That's not the case.
That's not the case at all. No, trust me.
No.
The more people you actually have, the hardest it is to actually be able to trust anybody. I'm gonna just be real with you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like my circle is so small now. I think, what did Drake say? Matter of fact, I'm thinking of a Drake lyric. That's how I know it's bad. I think he said, "My circle is so small, it's become a period." Yeah. My circle is so small, it became a period. So pretty much, it's like, you know, and I got to give a shout out to my friends right now. You know what I mean? Because without my friends, I really wouldn't be here today.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't. You know, so I'd shout out to my best friends, Bruce, Ravon. You know, those two definitely have been there for me through everything. You know what I mean?
And I've seen that.
So much stuff, man, in my life, dude. Those two are definitely like the biggest that I owe my biggest thanks to. You know, those are my brothers, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah. You know, and then, you know, I got to give a shout out to my other friend, Eric. You know, he's been there for me for a lot. Then I also want to give a big shout out to a person that's actually, you know, we've been friends for a long time, and then, you know, we had our little ups and downs and stuff like that. But, you know, my friend Danielle, she's always been that one person that she's always been there for me and stuff
Right.
like that. Even though there was a little period where we weren't talking for a little bit, but it was just mainly because we were both trying to find ourselves and stuff like that. But you know, we recently started talking again, you know, as friends and stuff like that, and she's been there for me, you know what I mean? And so I want to give her a special shout out too. So it's just like, it pretty much what I'm just trying to say is just like, your friends are very important, but your true friends are the most important.
That is what you would call family. Like, let me tell you guys, like, the people who know me, I have a lot of friends, and pretty much all of Loxahatchee pretty much knows me, which is very surprising because Loxahatchee is like part of the Everglades and shit.
Yeah.
But
oh god, the Everglades. The Everglades.
I live in backwoods country, guys.
People throwing alligators and windy.
Oh my god,
and stuff like
let
that.
me tell you about that in a second. When I read that, but I'll just say this right now. I have like 3 to 4 friends that I keep close to me, you know, and everybody else, like, unfortunately, like, they're there, yes, and then they support me in what I do, and like, I love you guys for doing that, you know, but I know I'm gonna get like so much shit for this, but you know,
I am too, trust me. Oh yeah, and I forgot one. Yeah, also my friend Angelique too, my friend Irving, my friend David, definitely those.
Bro, David is like real, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, you know, again, like, I'm not forgetting about nobody, don't worry. It's just, you know, literally, man, I have so many close friends, you know, but like I said, if you're a part of my circle, there's a reason you're a part of my circle.
Exactly. And going on that, the people who are a part of my circle, thank you guys. You know, whether you have been in my circle, left, and then come back, or have been in it for so long, thank you. And you know, Courtney is one of those people that is in my circle because of everything that he has taught me, said, and what I've listened to, you know. So think of yourself as a mentor, sir. You gotta think of yourself as a mentor, because you know, like, with your experiences, that is what, you know, is bringing, I guess, everybody that's going to listen now, you know, it's going to bring everybody closer together. It's going to make people think. And that's really good.
But I don't want anyone to be sad. Let's move on.
Oh yeah, about the Wendy story.
Yeah, man, that was wild, dude. Like, that was sick. Like, I read that, man, talking about, like, can you imagine working at Wendy's, taking someone's order, a dude just walks up, hey man, let me get a number 5, and then move up, and then they just throw an alligator through the window.
This motherfucker through. Okay.
Florida, ladies and gentlemen, we live in the weirdest state in America.
So I think it was almost a week ago, right? About a week ago. Hey, about a week ago.
Shout outs to Bobby Schmurder.
But it was about like a week or maybe like a couple of days ago that this guy, right? Now there's a previous story in October of last year that the same thing happened. So this happened twice.
Yeah.
And like I said, a couple of days ago, this guy grabbed an alligator from Southern Boulevard here in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And he went up to Wendy's, 3-foot alligator, went up to Wendy's, asked for his order, pulled up, and when the lady turned around to get his order and turned back to give him the order, the alligator was like right there. Like, he threw that shit in there. And whenever that was just, I thought to myself, I was just like, only in fucking Florida. Like,
only in Florida, dude. Why do we have the weirdest? We have the weirdest shit that happens in this state. Like
alligators, flocka,
fucking people getting their faces eaten in Miami. Like,
what is this shit?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what the hell. Did you hear about whatchamacallit? You know, what the hell was that lady's name? Casey Anthony.
Yeah.
Remember the one that supposedly killed her kid? You know, she's in West Palm now. She's opening up her own photography business.
I thought she was dead.
No, she's not dead. She went to Orlando after she got off, after she got acquitted. Then she resurfaced in, of course, where I live at in West Palm Beach. And like, now she has a photography business. I was like, what is up with Florida? But
hide your kids.
It's like,
hide your kids.
I don't know.
Hide your wives. Hide your husbands too.
In terms of that, though, we got to talk about these movies, man, coming out this year, dude. The movies coming out this year.
Oh,
the superhero movies coming out this year.
Well, let me tell you about this first, and this is going to tie into that.
All right.
My brother, all right, he's my half brother, and he's he's the one that is an actor. He's the actor of the family. When I say he's the actor of the family, guys, I'm not joking.
He's the actor.
No, he's a professional actor.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he has his licenses. He's in the union and whatnot. You know, shout out to Christopher Infante. You know, even though we had our differences, you know, I still hate you, but I love you either way. You know, I know I talked a lot of shit about him back in my couple episodes, but you know, I honestly really think that was immature of me. So I do apologize to my viewers and everything like that. And I just want to say, you know, I'm proud of what you're doing with your career. Please be an actor, and it's because of the movies that we're going to talk about.
I can't wait for this one.
The superheroes.
I can't wait for this one.
Man. Okay, Christopher Infante, my half brother, gave me, you know, his comic books. My family has been in the comic book. Well, my brothers have been in the comic book, I guess, industry phase type of thing.
Yeah.
For many, many years.
Yeah.
Started with my brother Mike, and then it went down from Chris, and now it's passed down to me. You know, I have boxes and boxes and boxes full of comic books.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, I haven't read one of them. You know, I'm not really big into like the whole Marvel DC type of things. I'm more into like, you know, the Japanese comics, you know, manga and anime.
And anime. Everything like that, yeah.
But I'm not gonna knock, like, dude, I fucking love
there's
Spider-Man.
There's some good ass comics out there, dude.
I love Spider-Man. I love, you know, Static Shock. Static Shock is a comic book, right?
Now it is. Yeah.
Oh, now it is? Shit, never mind. I like Spider-Man. Batman's pretty cool.
Everyone loves Batman.
Batman. Green Lantern. Teen Titans.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, like, so I know some comic books because of what my brother used to do. He used to, like, act out everything, you know, from the pages. But getting into the movies now.
Yeah, the fucking movies, which actually kick off this weekend. Deadpool's first movie of the year.
When was the first time? Let me ask you. When was the first time you were introduced to Deadpool?
First time I was introduced to Deadpool. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I'll never forget it. My friend Dante, he was playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and then he was playing this character Deadpool. I'm like, who the fuck is Deadpool? Like, who the hell is this? Right. I'm not a big Marvel fan, so it's just like, I don't know who this person is. And pretty much it's like, I just heard him talk all the time. He's like, he would not stop talking, but he's saying funny things. And then
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, it's like no, it's just funny because like they're doing like this raid of like this big time building or something like that. Right. And he's like, hey, seriously, who do you think's funnier, me or Spider-Man? I think I'm funnier than Spider-Man. And then like I was like, you know what? I like this character. Then what really got me into him is when I saw Hulk versus Wolverine, that animated movie. Right. Deadpool played a big part in that. It was hilarious. It was just like,
you were just like, bruh.
Okay, I'm in love with Deadpool. Deadpool is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, because he's the merc with the mouth. But, and you know, I don't care. I know there's a lot of Marvel fans that are probably gonna be listening. I'm a DC Comics fan. Right. And any DC Comics fans know that Marvel stole the idea for Deadpool off of Deathstroke. Right. Because Deadpool's real name is Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson. Deathstroke's name is Slade Wilson. So it's just like, they're both mercenaries. They're both... Yeah. Yeah, except Deathstroke's more of a serious mercenary, and then, you know, Deadpool's the merc with the mouth. And stuff like that. So it's just like...
You know, I think it's like really funny how like... with Marvel and DC, they make like these like witty names like that sound so great together. Wade Wilson, double W.
Well, Marvel loves that. They do like, you know, the same the first and last name usually have the same first letter. Yeah, you know, God, let me think of something. Reed Richards, Bruce Banner, you know, freaking. There's so many people.
It's great, you know.
It's just Peter Parker, you know. Peter Parker. So it's like,
Which, you know, shout out to Spider-Man because I fucking love. I love Spider-Man.
Everyone loves Spider-Man. You know, you can't like not like Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh, Venom. Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking about Deadpool, going back to Deadpool, my first time ever really like knowing Deadpool, and I don't like this game, by the way. I hate this game.
I think I know what you're gonna say. It's
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yep.
This fucking game, bro.
That is the worst fighting game ever made.
This game. I mean, it's
the worst fighting game ever made. I'm sorry. I'm big in the fighting game community. I hate that game with a passion. I hate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It is the most broken, stupid game. But you know what? That's another rank.
But it's like it's the type of broken ass game that you buy.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, but when you play it like on a competitive level, it's really cheap.
Stupid shit. Like they literally they break the fourth wall in that. But when I saw Deadpool just like moonwalking, like
Deadpool moonwalking,
and then I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Not to mention, it's just like his opening sayings are hilarious. Like when he fights. When he beats Wolverine, he's like, that's how you beat Wolverine, and you don't even need optic blast. And it's just like it's funny. Then when he talks about Magneto and stuff like that,
he just doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't care. Yeah. He doesn't. Like, when he goes against Ryu and stuff like that. He's like, hey, I love Street Fighter. He's like, you mind autographing your spleen for me? Like, it's like it's just cool.
Like it's like tasteless, but it's just like, oh man, that's great, you know. And
Ryan Reynolds, though, definitely, that is somebody they should have had do it. Like,
they're not doing it.
No, he is. He's Deadpool. Okay. But the thing is, what pissed me off though before is, again, me as a DC fan, like when they said that they casted him for Green Lantern, which I won't lie, it was a horrible movie.
I never seen it.
Don't waste your time.
Okay.
You can skip that. It's terrible. It's not even canon. They already dumped it and everything like that. But Ryan Reynolds is Hal Jordan. I didn't think that was a good idea. I thought he should have been Deadpool because we all saw him as Deadpool the first time in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Right.
Yeah, that was the first time we saw him play him. So it's just like,
dude, I saw him in Blade 2. I mean, like,
he was great. He's great as those. So it's like, Wade Wilson is his perfect character. So like, when we found out he was finally doing it, and Fox got it together, and they're finally making a good Deadpool movie. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. This is excellent.
Right.
So I'm thinking Deadpool is going to be a great movie. You know what I'm saying? I think it is going to be full of fun. It's going to be full of action. It's going to be funny. It just sucks that their department, like, Fox, they have rights over the X-Men. So it just sucks because this Deadpool movie won't really tie in with the main universe,
right?
With Marvel, which would suck. But
man, they have so many fucking universes in Marvel and DC, and
and
like they cross over, and it's just like really, like, damn.
But then of course, Deadpool's gonna set it off. But then the second movie of the year is one that all of us DC fans are hyped for, and that is Batman versus Superman.
Damn.
I cannot wait for this movie. Like, you see me, I'm smiling right now. I love that movie. I can't wait for that movie. I just can't, because I feel like that is finally going to get us as DC fans into the movie universe, and we're finally going to see something big. This is going to lead to the Justice League. We all know that. But this is the movie that's just going to do it.
Let me ask you something. How do you feel about what's his name? The guy that's playing Batman now.
Oh, you talking about Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck,
I love it. Like, a lot of people were giving him crap when they first announced that he was going to be playing Batman. Because, people who know about Ben Affleck in terms of superhero movies, he played Daredevil.
Right.
A few years back, which was terrible. The movie was horrible. But it wasn't his fault. It was really the director.
Right.
The movie was just bad, but when you really look back and look at his performance as Daredevil, he did a really good job as playing Daredevil. So it's just like, I knew that Ben Affleck is an amazing actor in general anyway. So it's like, I knew that he could play it. And then now, from the trailers that we've seen, everyone's in love with Ben Affleck now. Back.
You know what? Check this out and see. This is what I realized with that. When I looked at Ben Affleck in the Batman suit, I was just like, this fucking bulky ass fucking motherfucker. Like, no, man, I want Christian Bale. But then when I saw like what the true Batman versus Superman was, I was like, wait a minute, Batman, is bulky. Like, this is, I'm talking about the animated series.
Yeah,
he's old, he's bulky, like, swole as fuck.
Like, he's older in this movie,
and he's more. He has more of a shape. Mm-hmm. And then I looked back, and I was just like, whoa, they actually made a great choice, because Ben Affleck
it's pretty damn built.
Yeah, he's
pretty built.
He's pretty built.
Yeah.
And with the way that they made the costume for Batman, perfect. And I was just like, all right.
My biggest qualm with the movie so far that I've seen, I think they're trying to put too much in this movie. Because I can tell what they're trying to do. They're trying to put a lot in it. Because this is supposed to be the movie that leads to the Justice League movie.
Right.
So they're trying to skip like individual origin movies. So they're trying to put as much as they can in this movie. That can hurt them. Because, you don't want to put too much.
People want like, like a linear sense. Like,
yeah, it's just like, okay, like I hate to give credit to Marvel. Marvel did it the best. Like they took their time with it. They did the individual.
Speaking about Marvel, one of our professors just walked by.
Yeah.
He actually worked in Marvel and DC. So one of our
was that Mark?
Yeah,
Mark. Walked by? Yeah. Shout out to Mark.
Mark's very CEO. He amazing artist. Check out Omega
Definitely.
Paradox.
Great teacher.
Yeah,
amazing teacher. You want to learn how to draw? You need to take Mark.
Yeah,
but the thing is, like, then another thing is, like, they put it on there and stuff like that. So this is the movie that is supposed to say, hey, DC's here. We're going to the movies. We're going to compete with Marvel finally.
Right.
So, I'm hyped for that movie, I hope it's great.
You're making me hype,
Well, because the thing is, like, okay, I'm hyping this movie up. I'm like one of the only people hyping this movie up. I'm a DC fan.
Right.
There's a lot more Marvel fans than DC fans. So the thing is, if this movie sucks, then that's my word gone. So it's like, I can't. Whatever, but you know what?
You're just gonna disappear in a corner and be like, all right, guys,
look, I don't want to be like Meek Mills and just take L's all day. You know, saying I could be wrong with this movie. But moving on, the next movie. But the next movie that we're going on, and yes, this is for you Marvel fans. Captain America: Civil War.
So, see, here's the thing,
Civil War.
Like, I'm kind of like a blank canvas right now because I don't know whether to choose DC or Marvel. And I have the best of both worlds in my closet right now, so I should probably take up that offer. But I haven't really finished watching the first Captain America. Never seen the second.
Watch that movie. The Captain America movies are really, really good.
Right.
Number 2 was like amazing. Winter Soldier. Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah. So good. Well directed.
I've seen the
action through the whole movie. Yeah, it was really good.
I haven't even seen the Avengers or Avengers 2.
Did you see the first Avengers?
Never seen.
Watch the first Avengers. Really good.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't watch movies. I only watch movies on my downtime. I don't care to go to the theaters really unless it's like something that I really got to see. I really don't care for movies that much.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm the little brother of a professional actor who watches movies constantly, who acts in movies, and whatnot.
Well, some people just watch it for recreation.
Yeah.
Me, those movies I have to watch. So it's just
you're just like fuck.
Yeah, it's just I'm just like, fuck, man, what do I watch now? So it's just with that. But Civil War, let's talk about Civil War for a minute.
Tell me, educate me.
Civil War.
We're gonna be here for a couple.
I'm not
more minutes.
I'm not the best expert on Marvel comics. I'm not the greatest.
Do you read them a lot?
Not really. To tell you the truth, Bruce would be the better person. My friend Bruce, he's the big guru of that.
Right.
But okay, Civil War is pretty much a conflict in the Marvel Universe where it's between
Iron Man and
Tony Stark, Iron Man, and it's between Steve Rogers as Captain America.
Right.
Pretty much the government wants heroes to pretty much start checking in and stuff like that and basically register, telling them their secret identities and everything like that because, they feel like that will have, the government will pretty much have a little bit more control over them and stuff like that. So Captain America's like, fuck that. No, I'm not giving up my secret identity. I don't want to, well, even though people do know who he is, but still, The thing is just I'm not giving that up. No. I feel like we should freely be his heroes. We shouldn't have to report to the government. Tony Stark is like, no, that does make sense. We need to register and stuff like that. That creates a conflict and a big problem, a major event, well, in the comics at least, a major event sparks it, where now the two sides start to form, basically Team Stark and Team Cap, and Team Rogers and stuff like that.
Wow.
Basically, then those two end up fighting. Now, in the comics, it's really violent. That whole conflict was very, very violent. A lot of people died and stuff like that. But, of course, this is a movie, so, they're going to try to fit everything in one movie. I don't think it's going to be as
I feel it's going to be like part 1, part 2.
I don't think it's going to be as violent as the comics were, but because like there's certain characters they can't put in there, but it's definitely hype because again they're adding some people that we never seen before. For example, Black Panther. Black Panther is going to be in this movie, really? So it's like Black Panther. Everyone's been wanting to see this character for a long time, you know, and it's going to be interesting, man. Like Captain America: Civil War, it's going to be hype. It is hype. I won't lie. You know, I still want Batman vs Superman to be better, but I won't lie, I'm hyped for Civil War as well because Civil War does look good. Yeah, so it does. Then, yeah, I'll probably go see it with like my friends because like you're having me on this. Go see that shit, man, dude. It's just like that shit. It's just like now it's like when I'm getting into like the American comics and whatnot. And like, I'm thankful for that. So thank you for hyping me up. I mean, because manga like listen, don't knock the manga, man. No, I love manga. Like I said, I love anime, I love manga. But the thing is, like, I'm so picky when it comes to, like, manga and anime. And it's just, like, there really isn't anything that interests me right now with manga and anime. One Punch Man, don't get me wrong. Shout out to One Punch Man. Yo, that shit's ridiculous. One Punch Man is hype. I'm not even lying. That shit was ridiculous. One Punch Man is really damn good. But yeah, in terms of like the new things, like I wanted to get into One Piece, but I'm too damn far behind. I'm not even going to try to get It's like 700 episodes. It's like 800 or some shit like that. Case Closed, really damn good. That's like 600 episodes, dude. But it's good though. It's worth it. But there's this new one that I'm watching called Erased. Mm-hmm. The Japanese I guess pronunciation is called Bokuga da Inai or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's really good. It's a really good anime. Starts off, it's a person who has these phenomenons called revival, where if there's an accident that happens, he can go back in time between 1 to 5 minutes before that accident happens and redo like the wrong. Yeah. And the thing is, he has to do like two missions for himself, where one, he has to uncover who is like the murderer who killed his mom. Yeah. And two, he gets sent back in time to where he was 10 years old in 1988. Holy shit. To uncover a mystery of a girl that was killed in his neighborhood. Yeah. So it kind of reminds me of it's crazy because I told you about my I'm working on one of my stories. I'm trying to turn into a manga right now because it has manga written all over it. Right. And I'm not gonna take too much time on it because I don't want to plug it. So, yeah, my story that I talked about earlier. One tattoos, but that's still a work in progress. Is it the Kindred? Right? Is it the Kindred? No, that's gonna be a comic. We're eventually gonna turn it because superheroes and everything like that. We're eventually turn that into a comic. But my side project I'm working on by myself. What is the Kindred about? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what is the Kindred about? Like, oh, man. Bruce might kill you. But I don't know if we're ready to reveal it, but, whatever. Fuck it. It's YouTube. So, okay. Yeah. The Kindred is pretty much a superhero team, basically mixed with different individuals, that have been through their own share of tragedies and everything like that. I read like a little bit of the synopsis, but I haven't really delved in deep. That's why I asked. Cause, pretty much they were brought together by terrible circumstances. That's how they were brought together, crime and stuff like that. A couple of them have been criminals, some of them have been heroes already and stuff like that. Accidents have happened. That sounds badass. Well, I'm just saying one came from a different dimension. The leader of the team is from a different dimension and everything like that. But the thing is, pretty much long story short, that these 5 individuals, they're brought together and they have to literally learn to cope with each other, even though they don't really trust each other. They come from their own separate portions of the country and the world, so it's just like they have a hard time trusting each other, especially after all of the tragedies happened. Right. For example, our leader Alex, he comes from a different dimension. He's what they call a hyper sapien in different universes and stuff like that. So him, when he comes into our world, in different dimension, he has to cope with our dimension, the way we do things and everything like that. So he's in a different world himself. He's alone. He doesn't have anyone that he knows. We also have my other character, Majestic Girl, that I made. I know it's really corny, but trust me, the name, if you read Majestic Girl? Yeah, Majestic Girl. There's a reason she calls herself that. But She's pretty much, she was the victim of a chemical accident when she was coming home from school, and it pretty much formed with her and stuff like that. So now she has shape-shifting abilities. She can fly, and pretty much she's one of the strongest of the group. So pretty much she became her own hero after she got her powers and everything like that. Now her little brother, Justin, which is my other hero named Cypress, those two were partners for a while, but the thing is, another tragedy happened where those two split, and Cypress broke away from her and went to his own thing and started doing his own thing. So pretty much those two don't really talk. They can't. Well, he hates her because of the situation that happened. I'm not gonna say why. Then we have our other character named Saint. Saint is really popular so far with a lot of people that's read, what I've had and stuff like that. Saint, ex-criminal. He pretty much was always one to do robberies and everything like that because he had to take care of his little sister.
I like how his name is Saint, but he does
exactly.
robberies.
It's pretty much like a separation of a thing. So pretty much, he would do robberies and everything like that in terms of, to support his little sister because, the father died and their mom, left them when they were little and stuff like that. So pretty much he feels he's responsible for her. So he will do anything. But then eventually, he learns that there's a lot more to life than just being a criminal and stuff like that.
Right.
Then my other character, Ice Shade. Ice Shade is actually one of the most popular characters that a lot of people seem to like. Mm-hmm. He's a ninja. He's an ice ninja. He comes from Japan, of course, and pretty much they're part of the secret society of Japan. This is modern Japan, secret society where pretty much they're broken down into clans, and they all have a type of element. Now, of course, a lot of people can think like, oh, that sounds like Avatar and everything like that, but trust me, there's a bigger spin on it and stuff like that. Right. He's an assassin. He lost his entire family, and now pretty much he's hell-bent on vengeance. So he comes to America to find the person that killed his whole family. Hell-bent on, revenge and everything like that. He used to be the humble kid and everything like that. He never wanted to kill anybody, but then after that tragedy, it turned him into something. Fuck it, Yeah, it turned him into something different. But the thing is, what makes him so unique from his clan, which is the Water Clan, which his father ran, he couldn't do water. And then at first they thought he didn't have any type of special abilities at all, but then finds out that the reason he can't do it is because he's actually of a long lost shinobi clan of the Ice Ninja. So pretty much he has ice abilities. So that's what causes him to be so unique. So pretty much he uses that, and then when he comes to America, tries to find the person, finds out everything wasn't what he thought it was. And
so it's like Sub-Zero and shit like that.
Kind of, yeah. It's like that was definitely a big motivation behind that character. But yeah, like I said, he comes to America, hell bent with finding the person, and things don't go amazing and stuff like that, and then eventually he links up with the team, and then pretty much like I said, you have these different personalities that come together and they have to work with each other.
I would love to see that as like a comic or a manga.
It fits a comic a lot more.
Because for me, yes, I can read without pictures, but I'd rather have pictures because it engages you more. Yeah. Other than like an animation or whatnot. Question: Is there Is there any way where I could link it in the YouTube where people can read it, or would you like that? Or
as of right now, we're kind of doing a little bit more of a development. We're doing a redevelopment of our story right now. Okay, but I do have something of the original, pretty much rough draft that I have right now, copyrighted, everything like that. It is a Wattpad. Pretty much, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but I have 11 chapters written of it, and pretty much it kind of goes into more of the characters and stuff like that. Would
you be alright if people would read that?
That's fine with me. Like I said, it's just me and Bruce, like I said, we've been working on it so hard, and we wanted to make sure that it's finished before we get it out there, because we want our following to be with us from the day one of development. So it's just if we feel like it's not ready, then we're not really going to release it. That's why I'm not going to release the new stuff we've been writing. Right. So, but I'll do the older things because we're still not sure if we're going to use it. If not, then if we do use it, then it'll definitely be implemented. But yeah, definitely with that. But then my next one that I was just going to talk about real briefly, Centurion Valley. Centurion Valley, I'm turning that into a manga. It's got manga written all over it, anime and stuff like that. Pretty much what it's about, it follows two main characters. The main character is Jacob Valero. Pretty much he's the star wide receiver for his high school, the Valley High Kings and stuff like that. Right. So pretty much, he goes through the trials and tribulations of, high school and stuff like that, just being a teenager, having all that pressure, being the top athlete, one of the top athletes on his football team and everything like that. But, but the thing is, he goes through problems because he also has a single mother. His father left him when he was young and stuff like that.
Right.
But she works all the time, which that goes into our second main character, his mom. Secretly, she's actually part of this mercenary group for the government called the Centurions. Now, pretty much the Centurions were pretty much these candidates that were chosen. They were experimented on to give them special abilities. She was one of them and stuff like that. So she pretty much has shape-shifting abilities. She can turn to liquid and, she basically can poison her enemies and everything like that. She's a killer and stuff like that. That's Veronica Valero. She is a killer. Like I just say, it's like my characters, what I usually like to do is I like to put a mix between, she's a mercenary. That's what she does. She gets paid for this and stuff like that. And her team is one of the best. They pretty much get hired to do the jobs that no one else wants to do. Assassinations, bringing in high quality, criminals and stuff like that.
Right.
They're not bad though, because they won't work for like evil corporations or anything like that. They literally work for the government and stuff like that. So that's what she does secretly. And then Jacob pretty much always wonders why his mom's always gone and stuff like that. But secretly, she's doing this. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's really cool because, like I said, it takes tones of two different worlds. Like, Jacob doesn't know what his mom does, and she makes sure of that.
Right.
But, they're very well off. She makes a lot of money and stuff like that. But when she's around him, you see this loving, caring person. But when she's in the field, she's this ruthless killer. And it's just like, it's really good. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to give a shout out to a person that's helped me with it. And, hope this person listens. If not, well, Jessica, Jessica.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
I brought this to her and stuff like that. So she helped me out a lot with it, and
damn.
I want to give her a shout out for that.
Because, like, what you explained was exactly like Jessica in a sense.
Well, I mean, this was mainly all my idea.
The ruthless
she helped
part.
me. She helped me out with she helped me out with a couple storylines, and she brought a couple characters into the mix and stuff like that. But she helped me for a while, so it's just like I can't lie. She really led me for the motivation to get it really going. But that's what I say. I gotta thank her for that one.
Yeah.
So. But other than that, like I said, those are my stories and stuff like that. Like I said, we'll get it. Go on the Wattpad, read the Kindred and stuff like that. I got some stuff coming for tattoos. That's coming very soon. So yeah, just.
So I could include a link in the description below.
Yeah, definitely. And then just anyone has any questions, then I can leave it to my page, my Facebook page, and you guys can message me, ask me anything.
All right, guys. All right. Well, you heard him. I'll include a link. To the Wattpad with the Kindred and the Facebook page for Courtney Gist, aka the Red Spectre.
Red Spectre.
If there's anything else you would like to talk about, we basically covered a large amount today. I introduced my new guest. How do you like the show so far?
I love the atmosphere, man. I really wish, of course, hopefully I can come on in the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I've always been that type of person where I love talk shows and I love, being able to be heard and stuff like that. Because, I kind of wanted to do my own YouTube channel for a while, but it's just I was too afraid to do it and stuff like that. But the thing is, me, what I want to do, and I'm just going to leave off on this note, is just I want to be that motivation for somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when I sit there and say I've been through a lot, dude, I've been through a lot.
Hell of a lot.
I've been through so much crap in my life. And if I can cause somebody to not have to go through what I went through just by listening to my stories and, and giving the good advice that people can go by and stuff like that, then I did what I pretty much feel, because I'm always about helping others. You know what I mean? So it's just, if I'm able to do that, a lot of people think of me as just a joker and stuff like that. But to tell you the truth, I joke all the time, mainly because, I don't like to be serious all the time. I mean, I am very, very serious. I can definitely be very serious. But the thing is, it's just the way it is, man. Sometimes you gotta look life, even when it sucks, you gotta laugh in the face.
Right.
So, like I said, it's just anyone out there listening, I'm hoping, you guys can just take that. Just live your life, man. Just be there. And, dude, you're going to have challenges in your life. And you just got to look at them and laugh sometimes, and you got to get through them, because, unfortunately, it sucks. Life is never easy. It's never going to be easy.
Yeah.
There may be some times where things do go a bit smoother, but life's never going to be easy.
Yeah. And I should have included this in the past questions, but there's actually a question that I've been always wanting to ask that you might be able to help me with. And I know you have to go and whatnot.
No, it's fine. That's fine.
But I have to ask this. Let's say you were going out with the person.
Okay.
Right? This is going back to the whole relationships, and this is where we're going to
Oh, yeah. This is my expertise here. I've been through so much crap, so yeah.
Well, let's say you're going out with the person, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're not really, like, feeling them per se, like, at the moment. And then they get you something that you remember, that you always wanted, and you remembered from your childhood, right? And you told them, and they got you it, but you weren't feeling them at the time.
Okay.
And you guys go through a year together, and you start to catch feelings, and then you guys break up. How do you deal with the thing that gave you such joy as a kid? How do you deal with that now?
In terms of, with the breakup or the item that you received?
The item that you received. Like, how would you deal with that? Like, how would you cope with it? Would you still use the gift that...
Yeah, because it brings you so much memories. Yeah.
Or would you let sentimental value and, thoughts of your past relationship affect it? Like, how would you go about, I guess, erasing those memories or coping with them?
I'll put it this way. In my experience, it's never good to forget any of your memories. It's never a good thing. And the reason why I say that is because it's kind of the one day when you start to forget something that's happened to you, there's a day when you start to live in a fiction world because now you act like it's never happened. So yeah, even though you received something that was really, really sentimental and then now it reminds you of this person that you kind of don't want to remember and stuff like that, the easiest way to cope with it is pretty much just, I would say, just put it away for now. You know what I'm saying? Just put that little thing away. Don't forget about it. Just put it away and just move on to other things. So pretty much when you move on to the other things that, get your mind off it and everything like that, it's going to be easier to come back to it. Because then now when something else you go along in your life and something else helps your mind get off of it, then you can go back, well, hey, that's a really good memory and stuff like that. Now I remember it and stuff like that. But now you're stronger now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, anytime my ex-girlfriends got me something that I was really, really, really emotionally attached to them, I always keep them. Keep them and stuff like that. Even though, like, damn, it's like I look at it and be like, damn, it reminds me of all the good times we had and stuff like that. But I always remember it because the thing is, you always want something to remember something by. And you never really realize how important that is until it's gone. And you would never think that it would be that important and really until it's gone. Yeah. So it's just, I've had it where, like, prime example, me and my friend Danielle, we used to date. And we had a really good relationship and stuff like that. When we were together, I bought her a bunny.
Like an actual, like, animal.
An animal. Well, not a real animal, but it was a stuffed.
Okay, it was my dog. No,
it was a stuffed.
That's commitment, right there.
It was a stuffed bunny, and stuff like that. I got her that, and you know what I mean. Just because she loved it and stuff like that, and it made her feel special. Right. So I got that for Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken. She loved it, everything like that. And even though we didn't talk for a while and stuff like that, then we stopped talking and stuff like that. But then I found out she still kept the bear. She still kept it. And, that made me feel special, just even though because we're not together, we're really good friends. But the thing is, like, that means if she kept it for that time, even when we weren't talking, then that just shows that, she still saw that as a special item. Right. You know what I mean? And that pretty much just says it with everyone in general. It's just like, if someone gives you something, hold on to it, because even if you can't stand that person, that item still made you happy on that day. So you remember that good feeling from that day.
Well, let me tell you this, man. Okay, so I've been struggling with this question for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten a couple of different answers, all the same answers from what you just told me.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, I love Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is one of my childhood favorites, and that is what my ex got me.
Mm-hmm.
So put the question that I just asked you with me in the equation.
Mm-hmm.
So she got me this. Wasn't feeling her at the time, but kept on going. Started feeling her. We broke up, but I have this game that brought me so much joy when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And now that
every time you play it, you think of her. And
it's very hard. I know she's probably gonna listen, like, some way, somehow. She's probably gonna listen, but, like, you know, I'm very happy for the game.
Yeah.
You know, I just hate how our relationship took a terrible toll, and makes it harder to enjoy certain things that we used to do or that I used to do. And a lot of people say, like, you know, don't let it get to you because it's just a game. It's this and that. But
you got to be careful with that, because one thing is, like, a lot of people will sit there and say don't let it get to you, but they don't really know how hard it is not to get over something.
See, for me, I'm very much into my feelings.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so to them, it might be just a game. To me, it's something different. So if she's hearing this right now, you know, she'll know that it's not just a game to me. It's something way different. Yeah. And I was playing it the other day, and I let those feelings come back in, you know? And I kept playing it. Mm-hmm. Of course, it wasn't as enjoyable as if it was like when I was like
a kid and
when
stuff
I was
like
a
that.
kid.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a coping mechanism, saying, like, you know, I'm understanding that I shouldn't ignore these feelings, but, you know, I should be grateful for the time and what, you know, they have given me.
Love works in a very strange way, man. Like, it really does, because there is some people who I thought that I would never get feelings for again, and I did. You know what I mean? You know, it's just... You
have to set boundaries, my friend.
You do, and it's just like, you know, because you don't want to put yourself into that thing again and stuff like that. You don't want to put yourself into that negative place. But my whole thing is this. A lot of people sit there and say, oh, they're exes for a reason. You know, if you broke up with them one time, there's a reason and all that stuff like that.
Right.
I don't necessarily believe that. And the reason why I say that is because just because you guys broke up didn't mean necessarily you guys weren't meant to be with each other. It could have been to the fact that it just wasn't the right time for you two to be together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you guys just realize that. So it's just like you can't really, and especially like if you find yourself having these feelings and stuff like that, there's a reason for that.
Right.
Listen to your heart. You gotta always listen to your heart, man. Because a lot of people, you know, they overthink situations. They're like, no, you know, I shouldn't be having these feelings because, you know, of whatever we went through and stuff like that. I don't know the situation, but, you know, it's just, I shouldn't be feeling this way and stuff like that because how does that look and everything like that, and I don't want to come off this way.
And then you'll get stressed out about it.
You'll get stressed out because then you'll start overthinking a situation that you really don't need to. What I learned is I've had so much heartbreak, I've had so much rejection, to the point where now I'm literally to the point where it's like, now I'm to that point where I kind of don't want anything right now. And the reason why is because I'm not fully ready to, like, I can't look in the mirror right now and say, hey, I love myself.
Right.
I can't do that right now. So it's just like, yeah, there are a couple people, you know what I'm saying? There's one in particular right now, like, you know what I'm saying, I really, really want to go with. But, you know, unfortunately, like I said, just as different circumstances, it's not like that. But the thing is, I'm never going to force, you should never force anyone in anything. But the thing is, never force yourself to go into something until you are ready. So it's just like, you know, and it always starts off with those feelings. It always starts that way.
Right.
And then you never know, man. You just go with your heart, dude, and you see what happens, man.
You know, and I truly thank you for that because, you know, this is clearing whatever guilt or whatever, any little thing, any sort of negativity that's like on my chest.
Yeah.
It's going away. And I think
closure is the most important thing too. Like, if you ever, and when I say closure, that doesn't necessarily mean you close the door. Closure is just meaning it's just like, okay, we broke up. What was the reason we broke up? You know, it's just like, was it because I could have did something different, or is it because you could have did something different? Whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean it's closing the door. It's just saying that, okay, you now have that valid reason of what happened, so now you know what you can do moving forward.
Right. And honestly, like, I wish her the best, even though, like, you know, we've had our differences, and she annoys the fuck out of me sometimes, but, you know,
it's all love, man.
Yeah, you know, she loves me a lot, and, like, you know, that's great. And she's like, she always tells me that, you know, there's gonna be a time when that I'm gonna need her, when nobody else is gonna be there, and sometimes, you know, I feel like, you know, she's right, but if she's listening now, thank you for all the good memories, and thank you for getting me this gift. You know, a couple days after Valentine's Day, by the way, you know, the anniversary of this game is coming out, as Deadpool is going to come out the 14th. Yeah. You know, so I'm probably not going to see Deadpool, but I'm going to be celebrating Legend of Zelda.
Hey, Deadpool, dude, just freaking, it's a day. Whereas I think in the Zelda they have a Triforce, right?
Yeah.
You have 3 damn good things. Yeah. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah. So, well, to wrap this up, I thank you. I thank everyone for listening. I thank you, Courtney, for, you know, being a guest on the show, no problem, and, you know, shedding your insight and your experiences and whatnot, and really getting deep with us. You know, I truly, you know, appreciate it. You know, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime. Again, pleasure to be on, man. If anyone, you know, like I said, dude, anyone ever needs anything, as long as I can be there to help, you know, that's all that matters. So right. Hopefully I can be back. Hopefully people say, "Oh, that guy's annoying."
No. I can see you being back in the future. You know, it's going to be a bright future. You know, thank you so much, my friend.
No problem, man.
You know, well, guys, that concludes another episode of Gabe Develasco's radio show. You guys have an awesome and blessed day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, doesn't matter. I hope to see you again, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hey, ask questions. We'll answer those questions in the next episode. You know? Alright? And have a nice day.